Corey Lewandowski is, for some reason, a contributor to CNN. I don't know why, but he gets paid to go on CNN and basically spout pro-Trump propaganda. And in this case, what he's going to do is he's going to defend Roy Moore. So as if you think Corey Lewandowski wasn't already a disgusting person, he shows that he's even more disgusting than before. Now, he was on with Allison Camerota and talked about whether or not Trump's endorsement of Roy Moore was a great idea, and he comes up with this response. Let's take a look.
Illegal immigration, move taxes, tax relief forward for working class families, and be a pro-Second Amendment individual, then we have a different individual in the race who is anti-stopping illegal immigration, wants more taxes, and is anti-Second Amendment.
Yeah.
So the people of Alabama have to choose. It's a binary choice in Alabama. It's not that there are two conservatives in the race.
It's a binary choice in Alabama. I mean, because you vote for an alleged child molester or a Democrat. Obviously, I'm going to tell you who I think is worse. I love that. And for a couple of reasons. There's a molester because he's not a Democrat. Look, these people are the people that call themselves a party of morality. How's that for morality? I don't see anything moral in supporting somebody who, look, who already has horrendous, monstrous positions and has been drummed out of Supreme Court or drummed out of the court system twice. Again, he was a judge and he flagrantly violated the Constitution. And this is even before all this, molestation, pedophilia charges came out, right? He was already a horrible person. And now with these, even worse, how could you defend that? But of course, Lewandowski will defend that. Now, Camerota, of course, is going to respond to that. Let's take a look.
You do seem to be glossing over a little bit of the history of 8 women coming forward against Roy Moore, making accusations that he, in the case of 2, assaulted them when they were teenagers, one of whom was 14. You know, yesterday you called Al Franken a pig.
True.
Is Roy Moore a pig?
Look, here's the difference between the two. One is an accusation, and those accusations need to be taken very, very seriously. And the people of Alabama need to weigh if those accusations are real, and if so, they need to make that decision at the ballot box. Yeah. The difference with Al Franken is this is not an accusation here. We have pictures, we have evidence, and we have an admission of guilt by Al Franken that he decided it was appropriate to grope women while they were sleeping and thought it was a joke.
So if you take responsibility, Corey, and you apologize, then
your colleague refused to eat.
See, right there, she kind of nails down the conservative response, right? If you admit to it, well, then you're a pig, right? If you admit to doing these things, if you admit to these allegations, and you stand up and you take responsibility, basically, and do the right thing, you step down, then, well, obviously, you're a terrible person and you deserve to be maligned just for that, just for taking responsibility and doing the right thing. Now, if you don't admit to it, and this is where their defense comes in. If you don't admit to very credible claims against you, right, and they can be proven, like, for example, Lee Korfman with the entire yearbook that he ended up signing. He signed the yearbook. That's provable. Then you're not a pig, and therefore you are fit to serve in the Senate, and we're going to leave it up to the Alabama voters to make that choice so that he shouldn't step down. Basically, he's saying, nope, there's no problem here. No. Now, here's when this goes really off the rails. Camerota starts to get a little bit heated, and Lewandowski goes on just some strange rant about Chris Paul. Watch.
Even acknowledge, your colleague refused to even acknowledge that groping those women when they were asleep was a disgusting thing, and Al Franken should have resigned. When he said it was a stupid picture. When he was asked yesterday, your colleage was asked yesterday by Kellyanne Conway.
Are you talking about Chris?
Chris was asked
you don't
yesterday
think that Chris
if Al Franken groped those women.
He's against groping women? Of course he is.
Look, let's go back to the tape. Go back to the tape. What he said was he took a stupid picture.
The picture is Al Franken, look, it's
groping a woman who's asleep. In the state of New Hampshire, we call that assault. You know what that is in my state? That's called
assaulting a woman behind a shopping mall when she's 16 years old? What do you call that in the state of New Hampshire?
Allison, the difference is one is accused of it, one is admitted to it. One is a sitting U.S. senator, and guess what?
Corey,
50% of his colleagues have now asked him to be removed.
So in other words, if you ever take responsibility for something you did years ago, you should have the book thrown at you. If you just say the women are lying, then you're willing to go with them.
Why is it that 50% of Al Franken's colleagues in the Democratic caucus have asked him to resign because another allegation was brought forward yesterday?
Why is it that you believe the Al Franken accusers and you don't believe the Roy Moore accusers?
That's not what I said. I said
then
Roy Moore's accusers.
Then why isn't Roy Moore a pig in your mind?
Look, if what Roy Moore is accused of, he did, he's a disgusting animal as well, and he has no right to serve in the U.S. Senate.
But what you don't believe the accusers?
No, that's not what Allison.
What
I said was those allegations need to be taken absolutely seriously. And what Roy Moore has to do is he has to answer to the voters.
There it is again. So, according to Lewandowski, Franken has to resign because he took responsibility, right? And I agree with that. But the voters, they get to decide on more. Now, you think, okay, look, that's a fair argument. We're going to let the voters decide. And maybe the voters will make the right choice. Again, I don't agree with that argument, and I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying that some probably have made that argument, including Lewandowski. But see, here's a reason why he's saying that, and not calling on Roy Moore to step down. Because Roy Moore is very, very likely to win his race. He's up in the polls. One of the most conservative polls, and I don't mean conservative politically, but when it comes to how big this lead is that he has over Doug Jones, is about a 2-point lead. And by the most, a 5-point lead. So, yeah, he's likely to win. It's also because the president has just offered a full-throated endorsement of Roy Moore as well. And that the RNC has reinstated its support of Roy Moore. So, look, have anything to do with the politics, right? And that's the point that I'm getting at. Look, something like 90% of Trump supporters in Alabama do not believe in these accusations. That's why Lewandowski says, well, I'm not saying that I don't believe the accusers. Yeah, but he's also not saying anything about that. He's not taking a position on that because he wants to leave it to the voters when it comes to Moore. At least that's what he says. Again, the voters don't believe the accusations, and neither does Lewandowski, and neither does the president. And if they do, well, then they don't care. So here you have Lewandowski that's defending a monster. Again, he's a disgusting person for being able to do so. And Camerota actually was absolutely right to call him out on this. Look, the reason, I don't even know why Lewandowski is even there at this point. He offers nothing positive and continues to spew trash like this and defend the worst kind of people. You got to get him off CNN.